Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
His wife hit him with the car, but she claims she's the victim.
She says you choked her, kidnapped her. Are you saying none of this happened?
I'll give you my word.
Bizarre behavior.
Get off my car. I have to go to work.
And accusations.
You've had 6 restraining orders against you.
It makes it look like this guy is an abuser.
You seem to get real defensive really quick.
With a shocking discovery.
Melissa went missing this morning. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've hurt long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Both of you, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. When I first saw this video, I frankly could not believe my eyes. I had to look at it again just to make sure. Take a look.
Get out of my car, Melissa. Stop.
You see what I mean? You just saw my first guest, Eric, being hit by a car. And somehow he managed to hold the camera and capture the incident on video. Now, the woman behind the wheel, well, that's his wife, Melissa. Eric says he has been living a nightmare for the past 2 years since his wife started making false allegations against him, including claims that he raped her, kidnapped her, and even threw her in the basement of their home filled with rats. Now, Eric claims he has never done any of those things and says that he is the victim of unfounded accusations by a woman who he is convinced suffers from borderline personality.
My wife is trapped between 2 different people. She has such a good side about her, but she also has another part that's broken. Please get off my car. Please. I have to go to work. I strongly believe that my wife suffers from borderline personality disorder and has affected my life in a way I never thought was possible.
Into my back.
She would make these accusations that are pretty severe. She's claimed that I kidnapped her. She's claimed that I beat her. She's claimed that I've choked her. She's actually claimed I raped her on several different occasions.
You should never put your hands on me.
Right.
You should never rape me.
Right. Leave. Then you can leave now. She just starts saying, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to call the police and tell them that you raped me. And, you know, the night prior, her and I made love, so she would say, they'll do a rape kit on me and they'll see that we had sex. It's scary. Why would you even say something like that? Those are serious accusations. There are consequences to those. I can go to jail for that. I started videotaping her only to make sure I was protecting myself, and that video speaks volumes. Get out of my car. I was just filming it just in case that she were to call the police on me, that I just had some backup. Get out.
No, I'm afraid.
Get out of my car. Get out of my car, Melissa. And I thought if I stood in front of the car, you know, she loves me. She's not going to want to run me over, you know, maybe that will stop her. I've already hit rock bottom restraining orders and being hit by your own vehicle, being accused of rape, and this is my wife. I trust her. I love her. There's nothing worse. So yeah, I'm living in hell. Stop!
Okay, Eric, I wanted to talk to you first. She's accused you of all kinds of things to the police and other people, right?
She's accused me of rape. She's accused me of kidnapping her. She's accused me of beating her. She's accused me of choking her until she's unconscious. I heard you earlier say about locking her in the basement. That's the first. I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh, yeah, I got more.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, she says you've poked her in the neck with your fingers and that you've choked her till she was unconscious and then raped her in the garage.
That's the first I've heard of that one, too. All right, so.
Okay, well, here it is. I'll just give you the list. She says that you choked her until she passed out and then raped her. This supposedly took place in the garage. That you kidnapped her, that you smashed her face on the hardwood floor, that you bashed her head against the bedroom door, you poked her in the neck with 2 fingers and made her fall down, that you threw her on the bed for accidentally stepping on your Xbox, that you pinned her down and spanked her until the skin ripped, that you put her head through the wall, that you threatened to harm her son if she didn't drop a restraining order against you. I mean...
Okay, so...
Did you
it
choke
just keeps
her?
Going, no.
And then rape her?
No, never. I mean, no. I mean, You have to understand something. When she behaves this way, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. It's really hard to describe.
Well, you started videotaping her.
Well, I had to.
She showed pictures of bruises to your son's girlfriend at the time and said that was from you abusing her.
So,
okay.
Yeah. That's the bloody lip, right?
Then she admitted that those were actually from an accidental fall.
Right.
That you didn't abuse her. She admitted that.
Right. There was an incident when she was taking my keys. That's what she would do. If I tried to leave, she takes my keys, she takes my wallet, she takes my phone. So at this point, she took my keys, and I'm like, I need my keys. And she's like, well, no, I don't. I think you're gonna lock me out. So she puts the pocketbook. She puts the keys in the pocketbook. I said, Melissa, I need my keys. I went to pull the pocketbook, and I didn't realize she had it wrapped around her arm, however so. When I went to pull the pocketbook to get my keys, that's when she twisted around and fell on the floor, and she had a bloody lip. Everything was fine, but I didn't realize that she took pictures, and then later on was using them against me. She would put them on Facebook whenever she got mad at me. She would text my friends and say, see how Eric really is? I mean, she would try to alienate me from my friends. This is how it's all coming about.
Eric says he began videotaping most of his interactions with Melissa back in 2012. He said, I had no choice because she makes these wild accusations, so I had to keep a record. Now, I'm always concerned about people who record somebody when they don't know it, because then they can be real nice and the other person doesn't know it. But that's not what happened here. I mean, he's recording this openly where she knows what's going on. Let's look at what led up to Melissa hitting him with the car. Take a look at this.
I want to leave. Let me leave. Let me leave.
Bag.
Yep, let me leave.
Give me my bag
The bag's in the
back.
house. Let me
Give
go.
it back to
Let me go. You've destroyed my car.
My bag back.
You've destroyed my car. Get out of my car, Melissa. Just stop. What are you doing? Stop.
Okay, now she ran into you, then she crashed into the house a couple of times, right?
In the garage, right.
Yeah, the garage door there?
Correct.
In your car?
Correct.
Okay. And here's a freeze frame of Eric's wife, Melissa, with her face plastered on his windshield. What's going on here? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I just think it's crazy. You know, what happened was that she had a doctor's appointment, and we had an argument. I said, you know what, I'm not gonna take you now. So I said, I'm just gonna go to work. I'm just gonna go. So she's like, no, I need you to go. And she kind of like threatened me. She's gonna take my keys again. I'm like, fine, Melissa. You know what? I don't have time for this. I'm gonna go. I mean, I'll take you. I promise I'll take you. Well, I don't believe you're gonna take me. I'm gonna take you. I promise. Nope, I don't believe you. So when I went to go to my car, she said, you're not going anywhere. And that's when she jumped on my hood saying, you're not going anywhere. That's what she was doing, preventing me from driving off.
Okay, well, here's Eric's wife, Melissa. This time, it's looked like she's planking on the car.
Right.
So she's just
laying
laying
on
your car to keep you from leaving.
Correct.
Okay. Now, we do a lot of research. She's provided us stuff. You've provided us stuff. We've gotten some things on our own. It was interesting because she was talking to a therapist for a period of time. And back in January of last year, 13, here's what one of her therapists had to say in a quote. Melissa has consistently denied physical abuse by her current husband, Eric, and states she feels empowered to stand up to him in the relationship, both on behalf of herself and her son. When you're not there and she's talking to the therapist, she's saying that you haven't abused her in any way.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting, given everything that she's reported to the police and to us, which is what you're saying is part of your problem. Well, we've heard Eric's side of the story. Now it's time to hear what Melissa told us. And where is she? Well, yesterday, she checked herself into an L.A. hospital. She said she had to go because she was so upset by Eric. But then she requested early release so she could go get a tan. Yes, you heard me. She got an early release so she could get a tan. It's been quite a wild ride to prepare this show. We'll be right back.
Eric has tried to suffocate me with pillows, slammed my head through a wall, leaned me up against the bed, and forced himself on me. He'll get a knife. and he'll pretend like he's gonna cut me. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I lose so much weight. I look like I'm dying.
And later, he said she was too afraid of you to do the show. Been in contact with her throughout the morning, and we're going to try and call her right now.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My mother's a party mom.
Did you drink with them when they were underage?
Maybe once. Plenty of times.
While mom has a good time,
Your daughter's pregnant at 12.
And it's not like I made her go out and get pregnant.
are her kids suffering?
You've had to wear an alcohol monitoring device. What'd you do the day you got it off?
I went out drinking.
So you don't know what's going on, do you?
I guess not.
Well, I'm just asking you. Don't give me your pouty response.
Okay, now she's chasing me, okay? She claims that I raped her now, just to get me in trouble. This is what I'm dealing with. Helped her with a car, and now she's chasing me. No, she's still following me, as you can see. Just trying to leave.
Well, that was Eric, who says his wife, Melissa, falsely accused him of raping her 2 times and filed 2 temporary restraining orders against him. Now, in addition to kidnapping her, choking her, turning over his knee and spanking her, and a host of other sordid accusations, this just keeps flying at you, right? His estranged wife, Melissa, says she, not he, is the real victim, and he needs to take responsibility for his own actions. Here's what she had to say.
Things started to go crazy when we moved in together. He just snaps. It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's one minute he can talk to somebody on the phone and be perfectly calm, cool, collected, and the next minute he's throwing things and yelling and screaming and flipping out. From the time I've known Eric, he spanked me more than once. He picks me up and he throws me over his lap and he just starts wailing on me. Eric has slammed my head through a wall, leaned me up against the bed, and forced himself on me. Eric has kidnapped me from the home while children were in the pool. He has tried to suffocate me with pillows, slam me on the hardwood floors. He's given me so many fat lips that there's not enough days in the week to count. He'll get a knife, and he'll pretend like he's gonna cut me. Like it's funny, and it's not funny. He stabs me in the hand. Cuts my hand. He stabs me in the leg. He cuts my leg. He says, "This is all your fault, Melissa. You did this. You ruined this family." Eric has isolated me from my friends, isolated me from my family. I've been in the hospital because I get so sick. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I lose so much weight. I look like I'm dying. He's like a plague that just doesn't go away.
Okay, what's your reaction to all of that?
I don't know who that woman is. I mean, seriously, it's just so hard to defend myself. That's why I took out the video cameras. These are just half the video cameras, video shots. A lot of them she deleted or made me delete because she would say, you know, if you love me, you'll delete those videos. Let's start over again. All the stuff that I'm hearing, a lot of it, again, is new. You have to understand something. When she feels like she's backed in a corner, she's going to make up this stuff to make it seem like it's an even playing field.
Well, you understand, I take domestic violence very seriously, and she seems genuinely upset. I mean, she's crying. I see people cry all the time without tears. She's crying with real tears. She seems very upset there. Are you saying none of this has happened?
Dr. Phil, I give you my word. Which she's good. She's good. She can
Because
cry.
she says you've choked her, raped her 2 times, kidnapped her, smashed her face through the wall, smashed her face against the bedroom door. She says that you've made threats, that she has to drop the TRO, the temporary restraining order, or you're going to hurt her son. She said that you've threatened her with a knife. You're telling me none of this has happened?
No, nothing.
None of it. Zero, none. Yeah,
zero.
none of it's happened.
Negative zero. None of it.
Okay. Well, what about Melissa's behaviors? I mean, we showed you some of her behavior on tape, which is what it is. She knows she's being recorded. I made a list of all the things. I didn't want to have to show all the tape. poured Diet Coke all over the car and his clothes inside the car, threw Diet Coke on Eric, admits that she chucked his keys into the woods, blocked his car with her car, refused to let him leave for work, claimed that he raped her, but when Eric refused to help her, she said, okay, you didn't rape me. She calls you names, including lunatic and twisted human being. All of this we've seen on tape when she knew she was being recorded. Speaking of that, here's some home video where it seems like Melissa takes back her rape allegation. Take a look.
I'd like you to leave now. You're preventing me from leaving this vehicle, my home. I want you to leave now.
You need to get me back
Right.
into the house.
No, I don't.
The keys.
Nope.
I'm locked out of my own house.
Did I rape you?
Can't get in the house.
Did I rape you?
Yes, you did rape me.
Okay. I'm not helping you.
Okay, then you didn't rape me.
Right.
Okay, I have to say, her behavior is obviously childish and outrageous, but you two sound like children. Remember we used to get into arguments when you were kids? Did two, did not, did two, did not, did two, did not? Are you like 2 years old? How has it gotten to this level of interaction?
I don't know what else to do. I mean, I had to, actually, when I said that my own place, I had to move out because when she was in the hospital, because she had pancreatitis at the time, a few months ago, I found her texting some other man. I had enough of this, so I ended up leaving and I ended up moving out. And that was my chance to get out because my son and I, you know, because what she would do is, like I said, she would take things, preventing me from leaving. So I'm already out of my other apartment. She locked herself out of our home. I'm not even there. But she's still coming to my apartment, forcing me to help her.
Well, speaking of your son, who's 20?
Correct.
Did she give his dog away?
Yes, that was devastating.
Did she threaten to accuse that your son held her down one time while you raped her?
I didn't want to bring that up. So,
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
What, are you going to leave that out? What the hell? I mean, you've been accused of everything else.
It's about my son, though, you know. So one day when she was...
Well, obviously, your son did not hold her.
No, of course not. But my son is going to be like, Dad, why do you want to be with this woman? And now I have to worry about myself, and I understand what he's saying. So one day when she was claiming rape because I wasn't doing what she wanted, she said, fine, I'll say you raped me, and I'll just tell them your son held me down while you did it. And I looked at her, and I went, what? She goes, what? What are you going to do? Who are they going to believe? They're going to believe you, or they're going to believe me? Because that's what she does. She builds on her cases. And it's very hard to defend that.
All right, well, Melissa went missing at approximately 3:20 this morning. She left the hotel at 3:20 this morning. Where did she go? Where is she now? Well, you know, we either found her or we didn't. And you're about to find out as this drama continues.
Now, get out of my vehicle.
I'm afraid
Now,
of you.
good.
I'm afraid you're
Get
gonna
out of my
do
car.
it.
Yep.
Rape me.
Get out. Yeah,
I'm
please.
afraid.
Get out. Get out.
No, I'm afraid.
Get out of my car.
I am so afraid.
Yeah,
of
I can
you.
tell, Melissa. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. I want to leave.
I'm tired of you hitting
Good.
me.
Yep. Yeah, whatever. Nice try, Melissa. You know you're being filmed. Get out.
And later, Nico, while we're on break, would you text her and tell her that when her phone just rang, that was Dr. Phil trying to call?
Eric has hurt my son in ways I can't even describe emotionally. And the last time I got a restraining order against him, he told me he would kill my son if I didn't drop the restraining orders.
Well, you just heard from Melissa, who accuses her husband, Eric, of raping, beating, and even kidnapping her during their 2-year marriage. She admits filing 2 restraining orders against him, but says she dropped the last one after he threatened to harm her 12-year-old son. But Eric says, look, he says he is the victim here. He has videotape that he did not take surreptitiously. He put it out there for her to see. He says he is being falsely accused of horrific crimes due to his wife having what he thinks is borderline personality disorder. Not sure you're qualified to assign that diagnosis, but nonetheless, that's your theory.
Right, correct.
Generally, when people are kidnapped, they either escape or they don't, but they don't usually move back in with the kidnapper. And that's happened here a number of occasions, right? She says she was kidnapped.
The guy was going to kill her. Right.
But then the next day, y'all are at dinner.
Right.
Okay. She says that you've raped her, but have you ever had rape charges filed against you?
I don't have any criminal record at all, no.
I mean, she's not ever
no.
brought the charges. She just says,
court.
do what I want you to do, or I'm going to say you raped me.
Well, she doesn't say the exact words, but she implies it.
Melissa went missing this morning at 3:20. She walked out of the front of the hotel. She got in a cab, and off she went. Now, we had production staff with her until very late into the evening, just kind of keeping her company and keeping her kind of easy about all this. Then she goes missing, can't be found. But then we find her. We find her, according to her, she says she's on the ground at San Francisco Airport. She says she went to LAX, got a flight, flew to San Francisco, is going to hop back through Cleveland and then home because she said she was too afraid of you to do the show. Now, we've been in contact with her throughout the morning, and we're going to try and call her right now. So let's dial the number, put it in the house, and let's see if we can get her on the phone.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
We've been texting back and forth with her just up until a few minutes ago. And, you know, some of the texts have been interesting. She says, quote, I am very stressed. I am sick again. I'm not going to hurt Eric or Nico, his son, to make a point. It's not worth it to me. Tony. Then she says to Tony, Tony is our AP. No, Tony, I'm not going to hurt Eric or Nico. That's not who I am. I just can't do it. It says, I'm physically ill. Please tell me you are joking. I didn't write to your show. Eric has done enough helping me with Tony, his video. I'm all done. Really? Nico just yelled and screamed at me on the phone and told me how much he hates my guts. I'm in tears right now. He told me that he hates my guts because I took his dog. He was screaming at me. Do you understand yet? The dog was abused. I did what I felt was best for the dog, not to hurt Nico. So this is her rhetoric.
This is the pattern. And that's what I'm trying to say to you, Dr. Phil. I've lost my kids over this. I've lost my kids because, you know, you look at this, you're like, you know, it's easy to believe a lie than it is the truth.
I have never met a couple where it was 100 and 0, where all of the problems, all the pathology, all of the issues were 100% on one side, and the other person was just completely innocent. And that's what you're saying. You're saying she's the problem here. I haven't raped her, kidnapped her, choked her, any of that stuff. But you see what I mean? She's cost me my kids.
Right.
Listen, I've worked in the court system, and you just don't take people's children away from them willy-nilly, and you don't do it on a he said, she said. I mean, it can create a problem for you. There's no doubt, but you've got to come up with a strategy to get this under control, right?
Dr. Phil, you know, this is my problem. This is my problem. I mean, no one believes me. My son believes me because he knows the truth, because he lives there. I understand what it appears to be.
What does it appear to be?
Well, it can't be all the truth. When you look at this, you have to think, wow, well, she can't be lying about everything. There's got to be something that's truth, and it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I called your show. I emailed you. I'm going crazy. I'm living a nightmare. Look, let me just say this. I'm broken. I am. I was, you know, she was abused growing up. I was abused growing up. Things you can't even imagine. But that's the problem. We're always judged rather than trying to help us. Yes, do I yell? Absolutely, do I yell. But I have never crossed the line of, you know, raping, kidnapping. If you look at the police reports, it's a police report.
Do you think I think you've raped, kidnapped?
Well, I think there's something. I think there's probably bits. I understand what you're saying. There's two sides to every story. I get that.
Listen, when I start asking you questions, you just can't put your head down and get defensive like, oh, well, there you go. That's what everybody always does. You got to be willing to hear some questions and answer the questions. Are you willing to do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll be right back.
My relationship with Melissa, there really isn't one right now. I have, at this moment, zero trust, zero respect, zero compassion for her.
And later, because I have to tell you, I don't know anybody that has had 6 restraining orders filed on him, and I interviewed Dina Lohan.
I know that I'm not perfect, but there is nothing I can do to fix Eric. Honestly, I wish him the best in the world, but I am so tired of being blamed for everything. This is just not normal. And for me to always be blamed for everything that happens is just not okay. And it's not acceptable.
Eric and Melissa have been married a little over 2 years, and during that time, the police have been called to their home on 8 different occasions. And Melissa has taken out two restraining orders against her husband. Now, she has also said to her therapist, he doesn't abuse me. He's never abused me. She has said she's afraid of him, that he's raped her and hurt her, but yet she continues to engage and go through these power struggles. It doesn't add up. Eric's 20-year-old son, Nico, lived with his father and Melissa during their marriage, and here's what he has to say about what he has observed.
In the case with my relationship with Melissa, there really isn't one right now. She tends to lash out at the people that are closer to her, my father and me. And it's happened on so many different occasions that I refuse to have it happen to me. My father's more forgiving. So if on multiple occasions that you harm my family, it's hard for me to give you my trust again. And because it happened 4 or 5 times with her when she'd be lashing out and that me and my father would have to end up leaving or moving out, I have, at this moment, zero trust, zero respect, and zero compassion for her. I really do hope that she does get the help that she says she wants. When she shows that she's changed, I have to see that in order to be willing to open our relationship again.
Well, Nico is joining us now via Polycom. Nico, appreciate your chiming in on all of this.
How you doing?
You've been around this a fair amount. You've been listening to the show so far, correct?
Correct.
And you've heard what your father has had to say. You've heard what Melissa has had to say. In a sense, you're kind of a tiebreaker here. Has your father been in this marriage as a kidnapping, abusive rapist, or has he not?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, in a sense, we've both been victims in this situation. I mean, she's targeted me a few times, but definitely he's been the focus of lashing out.
Now, you talked to her this morning, correct?
Correct.
And what was the nature of that conversation?
The nature of the situation was that she's, from what she was telling us, the reason why she didn't want to come back on the show this morning was because she was upset that I didn't get back to her because she had asked what the dogs were doing because I'm watching the remainder of the dogs at the house. And I didn't text her back to let her know. It's hard for me to text her. As you see from the videos, I have a hard time talking to her because what we've been through is rough, and I don't want to put myself in that situation anymore. So I didn't text her back to let her know the dogs are okay. In my head, I was just thinking, if something was wrong with the dogs, I'd let her know. We did get into an argument. I never told her I hate her guts. I never said that. I said that I can't talk to her. I don't like talking to her because I don't, and I was just trying to be honest, and she knows this. And so, yeah, I never yelled or screamed. I was right outside the Polygon Center. I raised my voice, but I didn't yell or scream because it's another parking lot.
You know that her not being here has nothing to do with whether you texted her back about the dogs, right?
Well, I mean, I get that now. But I mean, from when I talked to her on the phone, that wasn't the case. But I mean,
but I don't want you. I don't want you blaming yourself here that she's not here because to get help. because you didn't text her back about the dogs. I mean, this has been
No, I understand. I mean,
drama,
again,
drama
Yeah.
from the top.
Exactly.
We're going to try one more
deja vu
time.
for me, so I
We're
wasn't-
going to try one more time to see if we can get her on the phone. Let's try her again. She's either not answering or she's on a flight.
My son sees it, and he's afraid. He's afraid for me. But I'm broken, and I love my wife, which is why I still stay with her, because I believe in her. I believe that, you know, if she loves me enough, that things will change.
All right, well, let me tell you what I want to do. We're going to take a break. Nico, while we're on break, would you text her? I know you don't like texting her, but you're there with your phone in hand. Text her and tell her that when her phone just rang, that was Dr. Phil trying to call, and that he would like her to pick up so he can talk with her. Try that while we're gone, and we'll be right back.
My wife. She's gotten restraining orders against me before. She's made these accusations. My ex-wife using my current wife to say, hey, what, oh yeah, he's abusive to me, Your Honor. The problem is that her doing that destroyed any chances of me seeing my kids for a very long time. Because the court basically looked at me now that I'm a full-fledged abuser.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Is this party mom putting her kids in danger?
You've been fired twice, lost your house, CPS came and got your kids. Where do you get the money for the booze?
My child support check.
That's tomorrow.
I'm done. I filed to finally get divorced. I just want to be free from the dysfunction. You can blame me for everything that goes wrong in your life, Eric, but anyone who puts their hands on me and treats me like that, I don't want in my life. I'm done. I've had enough of it. I deserve better.
A wise man once said, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Well, it was actually me that said that, but think about that. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like if you got a problem and you don't have any insight, you don't have the ability to recognize the problem, then it won't go on your to-do list. And having insight would be really, really important for you, because you got to ask yourself why you're in this situation. And I'm a big one for patterns, see, because I think the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. Now, how many times have you been married?
Twice.
This is your second wife.
Correct.
Okay? The first one ended in divorce,
Correct.
and she accused you of abuse.
Well, that was after, but yes.
But nonetheless, she did.
Correct.
Now, your wife, Melissa, has filed 2 restraining orders on you.
Correct.
Okay? Are those the first restraining orders you've ever had filed on you?
No.
In fact, you told us that in 4 prior relationships, not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 of those women filed temporary restraining orders against you.
Correct.
Restraining orders are when someone feels that they are in imminent danger for being around somebody.
Correct.
So you've had 6 restraining orders filed against you. Doesn't that kind of make you want to step back and say, what the hell am I doing? I'm either picking some really wacky girls, or there's something about the intensity of my personality or something that creates this pattern. Because I have to tell you, I don't know anybody that has had 6 restraining orders filed on him, and I interviewed Dina Lohan.
It makes it look like, wow, this guy is an abuser. Or is he picking the wrong person? So I ended up being diagnosed with PTSD because of my childhood. So my therapist told me, finally, I'm going to get in therapy. So after a year, my therapist says to me, you're not getting it. There's something you're not getting. You're not learning your lesson here.
We do our homework. We do collateral contacts, not just on you. I do it everybody. You come on the show, I'm going to talk to your family. I'm going to talk to your friends. I'm going to find, you look guilty when I said that. Look, you start feeling for a mic. Am I next? No, I mean, we do. We check because we want to know. I can't help you if I don't have everything because I can see things you can't see. Do something for me right quick. Look at your own face. Can't do it.
I need a phone, right? Yeah.
No, you can't do it. You can't see your own face, but I can. So I have information about you that you may not see, that you don't have.
I don't talk to my family.
Does that tell you anything? You got 22 grandchildren, 7 siblings, and a mother. That's 30 people. You don't talk to any of them.
No.
You're 0 for 30. Every situation needs a hero. Step up and be that for your child. If you're having trouble with a son or daughter and feel like you're running out of options, visit drphil.com to get 11 seasons of parenting advice. You can access articles, video, and action plans to help you be the best parent you can be. Only on drphil.com. Well, I talked to some of your family members, and let me just read you some of the quotes that I got from various ones, because you've got 7 siblings, you've got a mother, there's 22 grandchildren involved. So I talked to some people.
That's fine. I don't talk to them.
Pardon me?
I don't talk to my family.
Does that tell you anything?
Well, because they believe...
You got 22 grandchildren, 7 siblings, and a mother. That's 30 people. You don't talk to any of them.
No.
You're 0 for 30.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. I'm living in a hell. I'm losing people in my life. I get all that.
No, are you losing people in your life, or are you driving people away in your life? Here are some of the quotes I got from family members. If 500 people see it one way and he sees it the other, they're wrong and he's right. He's good looking, he's funny, he's charming, he's charismatic, he's paranoid. He thinks that people are out to get him. If you give him advice, he gets instantly defensive and shuts down. The last quote is, he hurts people. The reason nobody in the family talks to him is because he hurts people. What has been your contribution to the existence of this marriage meltdown?
I just don't handle situations correctly. You know, yes, I yell. I get mad. I yell. I mean, that's just the way I was brought up. But I won't put my hands on somebody. I can't explain it. It's like you'd have to live a day in my shoes to see what's going on, and I wish I had a crystal ball to show you what's going on. I know what it looks like, but I'm living this.
Okay, but hear me.
Sure.
You've had 6 temporary restraining orders filed against you.
Correct.
You say, I yell, I scream, I get so stressed out, I go into body shakes and meltdown. I mean, come on. At some point, you've got to say, I need to fix me. At some point, you've got to stop being a victim and start taking control of making changes in your own life. That's the bottom line. Listen, do I believe that you've raped her? I have no evidence that you have ever raped her or anyone else. Do I believe that you have kidnapped her? Highly unlikely. I just don't see any evidence of that whatsoever. So are you likely the target of some false allegations? Yeah, probably so. So do I think that you're doing all of that? Probably not. If I had to push a button, yes or no, I would hit no. I would hit no real hard. If somebody came and said, is he a big part of the problem? I would hit yes real hard. You are a big part of this. And if it's going to get fixed, it's going to be because you fix it. You got to say, come on. I got to stop being right and start getting happy. And you're not doing that. We'll be right back. Stop justifying your inactivity and avoiding the challenge of change. For help getting started, go to drphil.com for 11 seasons of advice, articles, and exclusive videos you won't find anywhere else. Plus, sign up for the Dr. Phil community to share your story and find support from others. All on drphil.com. Well, we're back with Eric and not Melissa because Melissa went missing at 3:20 this morning, turned up, she says, at an airport in San Francisco. I mean, she may be out in a parking lot for all I know because we've not seen her. We don't know, but she didn't show up. Our viewers at home have been lighting up the boards. Cobra Girl AZ says, sitting in front of Dr. Phil is the safest place she could ever be if her accusations are true. Absence speaks volumes. Tina_M_Cummings says, why are they together? If this is what they consider a marriage, I'd rather be single for eternity. Some really common sense thoughts about this. Look, here's what I'm saying to you. I understand your history as a child. You say you're damaged as an excuse, not as an objective. To me, you should say that I am damaged. That's on the top of my to-do list. The toxic element that you can control is you. And Melissa, if you're watching this, I suggest you made a really bad decision in not being here. Your problem-solving skills seem to be lacking. I think there is credibility to some of the things you say and not some of the things you say. But this is not working. And I am going to talk to your husband about creating some change in his life, whether it includes you or whether it does not. I want you to get selfish and put yourself at the top of your list and let me get you some professional help. Will you take that help? Yes. And I want you to do it alone. I don't want you to do it with Melissa. I will not do marriage counseling for you. That's not what you need right now. What you need is to take care of you, whether you ever see her again or whether you don't. But it's time for you to get you fixed first because it's not working the other way. You agree with that?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
All right. I thank you for coming, even though she did not. If you want more information about this, go to drphil.com. I want to give a special thanks to our medical team at Doctor on Demand. That's the resource we use when we have to clear medical issues for the team here. And Doctor on Demand is actually an app now that my son Jay and I created. And if you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, you can get that app at Google Play or the App Store. Download it. You can push a button on your smartphone and be face-to-face with a board-certified physician in a matter of minutes. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. All right, sorry she didn't show, but I'm real serious. Let me help you. Okay.